Okay, so we're walking into the MatterHackers open house event right now. We're super excited about this. There's going to be a couple different types of groups, people that we're going to get to talk to tonight. It's going to be super exciting. There's going to be like 3D printers, manufacturing groups, all different kinds of people here. We're super excited. New products. Let's see what it holds. All right, so we're here at our first booth at our MatterHackers event, and we are here at the Non-Scriptum LLC. And we're just going to ask a few questions. Looks like they do some pretty cool 3D printing stuff. So if you wouldn't mind telling us more about what you guys do, what the purpose of this is, and how you make them.
We teach people how to use 3D printers, and we we got some books about 3D printed models that teach math and science concepts. So most of these models are from our new book, Make Geometry. It's a model to prove that the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So you can take all the angles off and it turns into a half circle, 180 degree arc. We have models of nets. Normally these are done with paper. You get connected triangles. If you make them into pyramids like this, it becomes a lot easier to fold them up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, go check out these books. Grab a copy if you want to learn about all of these awesome things. Okay, everybody, we're back at another booth. This is Andrew, and he works with combat robotics in relation to 3D printing. So we're going to kind of ask him a couple questions. This looks super awesome. Really aggressive kind of stuff going on here. So would you mind explaining to me how 3D printing folds into your models, because they seem to come out as metal laser cutting type of stuff. So what do you do using 3D printers?
Yeah, so in my world here, I work at MatterHackers. I'm on the customer success team, so if you call MatterHackers, there's a 1 in 5 chance of reaching me. Thank you for calling MatterHackers. This is Andrew. How can I help you? For me, 3D printing was something I got into before I got into MatterHackers. I've been 3D printing since 2019, and when I found out they were literally in our backyard, I'm like, I gotta get involved in this. So I've been doing combat robotics for 16, 17 years now. So I've been on TV shows like BattleBots, and I also fight in the local circuit here as well. So what I use 3D printing for is a lot of prototyping. So this is going to be my 12-pound robot, Nautical Nonsense. And what I'll do with Fusion 360 and with other CAD softwares is I'll actually design all my parts in 3D, and then I'll 3D print them to make sure all these bolt holes line up. And when you get stuff made out of steel, it's not as easy to change in real time. You can't just hit it with a hammer and change it. These are made of AR500. This is what shooting targets are made of. And what I would do is turn this entire design from CAD, put it onto the printer, make sure everything fits up, get the laser cut part, and then we end up with a full combat robot here. So this one here has a winning record. This plow is about half the robot's weight. It weighs about 5 pounds or so, and this is hitting opponents. It's a very defensive robot. One of our other small robots right here, we use 3D printing for custom motor brackets. This is machined out of a UHMW material with what's called a FingerTech beater bar. And this weapon here will spin a few hundred miles an hour. These hardened tool steel teeth will actually grab onto the opponent, toss them up in the air, rip off a few chunks. This guy's meant to do the opposite. This one is meant to take all those hits, put that energy back into the opponent, and go for a ride. So as you can see, there are still chunks taken out of this edge here. This is, again, AR500, what shooting targets and tractor plows are made out of, and even then these robots still will do their damage, and they'll do a lot of work on these machines. So yeah, I love 3D printing. The weight classes range from 150 grams. These are little ones that will be really tiny, 3 pounds, 12 pounds, all the way up to the big ones on TV. They're 250 pounds. So you'll see us on Discovery Channel later this year sometime. And yeah, watch out for Team Deep Six and Team Overboard, and we'll see you in the next one.
Awesome, thank you. So just one more kind of question.
Sure.
For somebody who wanted to get into this kind of thing, maybe they watch it on TV, how did you get into it? What was kind of your path? Like, how does somebody figure out that this is something that they would like to do?
Yeah, so back in 2001, I was flipping through the channel at my grandparents' house. We didn't have cable TV at my parents' house, and I saw this spinning shell hit some piece of aluminum and it ripped it apart, and I thought, that is the absolute coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm in my early 30s now, and as an 11-year-old, you were able to get kits online, and you can still get kits right now. So you want to check out fingertechrobotics.com. They sell kits like this right here. Again, that's fingertechrobotics.com. They're a really nice community member. They help out in a lot of areas. Yeah, there's local events, robotcombatevents.com, and the Robot Combat Wiki. I help write articles on 3D printing, as you might imagine. So yeah, it's a pretty cool place to be, and our community is really awesome. Who's super supportive of all age ranges. Again, there's weight classes for non-competitive robots. If you want to walk away from your event without a pile of scrap, we do that. We do full combat, and yeah, we do everything in between. So flamethrowers, hammers, saws, we do it all here in the combat robot space, and this is the stuff we love to do. And at MatterHackers, we have all the 3D printing supplies you need to make your prototypes or make full functional parts.
Okay, so now we're stopping by our food and beverage stations at the MatterHackers event. I'm here with Jim, and he's going to tell you a little bit about his company, why he's here, what he loves to do.
So like she said, my name is Jim. I'm a cellarman at Gamecraft Brewing. We're a local brewery in Laguna Hills. We brew all different kinds of beers, ranging from lagers to IPAs, what we specialize in. We also have a kitchen on site, so we're like a brew pub versus just a brewery, so we'll go to all ages. Not only do we enjoy beer, but we also have a lot of games on site. So board games, ping pong, card games, video games, all kinds of stuff. We're really about the community and having people all in one place together, hanging out and enjoying a good time. We're here at MatterHackers. I've been an avid maker for a long time. I recently got into 3D printing 3 years ago, and it's a local business that has been supportive of us with the materials and resources that we need to kind of take our business to the next level, whether that's through prototyping like our tap handle here, fun items like our magnets that we give away, or even just kind of fun decorations like you've already seen on the table. And it's just kind of a fun way for us to be able to, again, get back with the community.
Okay, so we're here at another booth, and this is a MatterHackers booth with a MatterHackers representative. So if you wouldn't mind just explaining to me what MatterHackers is, what the whole point of the event is tonight, just kind of what's going on here, why we're here, why you're excited.
So I'm with the MatterHackers tech support team. We're basically just hosting this event as the first one of 2020. Last year, obviously, we had the year off. But yeah, just basically kind of gathering with the community again, and just trying to display some of our products here. We do have everything from popular nylon filled products. We got generic PLA. There's really cool stainless steel products for kind of more industrial applications. Yeah, so this is BASF UltraFuse 316L. Essentially is a metal-filled plastic filament that goes through a special binding and sintering process, which actually removes the plastic from that, essentially compresses your model down into a fused solid 316L stainless steel part. So it's ready for industrial applications. You can either grind it, weld it, or just simply throw it on a piece of machinery. Primarily focused for more complex geometries. It helps reduce a lot of the manufacturing time, whereas opposed to CNC, where you have to normally block up a lot of your parts. You have to maybe rotate it in several different ways in order to get the cuts that you need. Using this process, a lot of times you can do it first go around, and it's ready for production. So.
Awesome. And then if you wouldn't mind explaining, if you know, what is kind of like the main theme of the event is incorporating 3D printers and that kind of stuff. So what got you into this world? What got you into MatterHackers? Why is it such like a special place to be?
So I've been a big fan of additive manufacturing, 3D printing. I went to school for it many years ago, kind of probably better half of a decade now. So it's always been a big passion of mine, hobby, design, manufacturing, and was luckily fortunate enough to get a job here about a year or so ago.
Okay, so we're going to kind of ask some people who are here in attendance at the event tonight why they're here, why they like it, have they been to a MatterHacker event before? So we're here, and we're just going to kind of figure out why you guys are here. Are you into 3D printing? What's your deal?
Very into 3D printing. I laser etch frames, and I'm just here to network and learn more. I haven't been here yet, so I'm excited to be here. I live right down the street, and I've wanted to come here for a long time, so it's nice that they're finally open again.
What about you?
I've been 3D printing a while, just wanted to come check it out and see what's going on.
Yeah, I have Prusas, I used to have a Modix, thinking about building a Voron, and then I have an EPAX resin printer right now. So.
And a Prusa and a Lulzbot.
Awesome, well thank you guys so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you wouldn't mind answering, like, why are you here tonight? Are you into 3D printing? Like, have you been to a MatterHackers event before? What's kind of your vibe of the evening?
So I have been to a MatterHackers event before. I am into 3D printing. I'm here more or less to kind of just be around other community members. Honestly, MatterHackers hasn't had an event in a while, obviously for obvious reasons, but just to be around, talk to people. Like I've been talking to people about 3D printing and what they're printing and what they're printing on. So yeah, that's really why I'm here. And also tacos. Tacos are great.
What did you print this incredible piece on?
I printed this on the JG Aurora A5.
Hi there, I am here with
Marcus.
Marcus of MatterHackers. So Marcus, would you mind give us some insight on how you actually got involved in 3D printing in the first place?
Well, I started in computer programming and computer security, and I knew nothing about MatterHackers or 3D printing, but MatterHackers had a job posting. I applied for it. I told them flat out, I know nothing about 3D printing. They said, we don't care. It doesn't matter. Nobody knows anything about 3D printing right now. This was a few years ago. Nobody knows anything about 3D printing. We will tell you everything you need to know. So MatterHackers got me up to speed 100%. Yeah, they were very understanding that it's a totally new field. No one has gone to school for it yet, although there are classes now on additive manufacturing. But to answer your question in short, I had some computer programming background, and that's what they were really looking for.
So you mentioned, like obviously there's now traditional schooling available for studying 3D printing. What other changes have you seen within the industry just within these past few years?
Yeah, I think the main change will have been the price, like the democratization of additive manufacturing. So technology, printers that would have cost to do the same capability only 2 years ago would have cost maybe $1,000, and that same level of technology, that same level of resolution and part quality and everything, that printer costs $250 now, and probably will just keep getting cheaper. So we have small schools buying 10 printers from us all at once, and almost every student now has the option to use the printer and make things that come to mind. Yeah.
And so, with all these schools, starting to pick up 3D printing, as part of their electives and all that, what other changes do you see going towards the future of 3D printing and just its adoption?
Yeah, I think more and more people will be using 3D printers. They will only get cheaper. So the quality of printers we have now that are like $1,000, those will be $250 soon. And we'll see more metal 3D printing. So right now we're doing almost all plastic. But metal 3D printing is taking off and it's getting a lot cheaper, and that plastic is very limiting, but when we can, and not only 3D printing, but machining it. So the CNC machines are also getting very cheap. So you can print 95% of your part in metal, and then that last little bit that needs to be just perfect can be CNC'd, and we're talking all under $1,000 soon. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So now we are over here at the Raise 3D booth, and they are currently displaying some of their newer products. We have the Raise 3D E2CF, one of their FDM printers. This seems to be the newer model currently on with a print. It is it's a dual print head, not dual extruder, dual print head actually, printer. And if you can come over here, we have the filament and actually airtight briefcase over here to help prevent obviously wear on it. But this is their newest model. Back over here we have the Raise 3D, their Pro 2 Plus, which also is dual extruder. And so obviously the main benefit of this printer we see right here is the very large Z-axis, allowing to print some very large, useful, and tall prints from anything from functional like trash cans to props for cosplay and whatnot.